I tell you what, if I'm left alone, in a call, if I'm left alone with God, and that's the only one that's talking to me, I would rather talk to God than please the world. I would rather talk to God than have the acceptance of how I dress, of how I talk, of how I look. I'd rather have God than anything else. Because everything else will fade away, and the eternal glory of God will last forever. But we refuse to live for God because of what somebody else might think. We refuse to be persecuted because of what somebody else might think. Lord, it's too hard. It's too hard. He didn't say it would be easy. He didn't say you'd be rich. He didn't say you'd be comfortable. He said, live for me, do it all, and at the end you'll have eternal glory. I have so many people living a religious life. And I say a religious life, not a relationship life. A religious life means that you stay the same. You stay the same. When you come to church and you go home and your life is still the same, something ain't right. Something ain't right. I desire to be changed. A relationship is a changing thing. When I got a relationship with my mama, I changed. As I was a baby, she nurtured me. As I was a child, she had to treat me different. I started walking around, putting on clothes. Our relationship changed. Some things she had to do for me when I was a child, she didn't have to do for me when I got older. Our relationship changed. As I got older, when I got married, our relationship changed. When I got kids, my relationship changed. Your relationship with God should be a changing thing every day. If you the same way you was 10 years ago, and you say you've been following Christ for 10 years, something wrong. Something wrong. You should have something in you that changes people's lives. Something in you that says, I'm different from what the world wants me to be, and being what God wants me to be. This woman said, I'm waiting on the Messiah. I'm waiting on Christ. Now, so many people say, I'm living for God. I'm waiting on the Messiah. I just don't like them. Lord, you got to forgive me. You got to forgive me, Lord. You got to read your word. At least you forgive. My Father in heaven will not forgive you. And then some people come up. Some people come up and they will want to take a chance. You know, there's the other things that people take a chance. Well, I can worship this, and this, and I still worship God. Come on. Paul rolled into Athens. Paul was like, I came in here. It's in Acts 17. Paul says, for I passed, verse 23, for I passed by and beheld your devotions. I found an altar with this inscription, to the unknown God, whom therefore you ignorantly worship. Him declare I unto you. We ignorantly worship God. We show up on Christmas. We show up on Easter. And next thing you know, when we go home, we have an Easter egg hunt. We open up presents. We waiting on Santa Claus to come down the chimney. And don't tell nobody. People get more offended when you tell people there's not a Santa Claus than when they tell you there's not a God. You'll be ready to fight. Some parents be ready to fight you because you told their kids ain't no Santa Claus. But tell them ain't no God. Well, that's their choice. To the pagan rituals and have fallen short of the glory of God because of what we want this world to accept us for. We can't stop for a minute and stand up for God. I see people, I watched this documentary, there's people over in China in caves. In caves. Waiting to hear the word of God. 4:30 in the morning. Packed up in a cave because the Chinese people will persecute them. The law will persecute them and cut their y'all want me to read to? All the way to Revelation. He said he looked around, there was no Bible in the place but his. Yeah. And we come and we fall asleep in church. All right.